I'll go grab some food alone then. Way to be a loner. Go talk to Rin or something. I don't know. Emi? Kenji? God, even Kenji. Even I'm allowing you to have lunch with Kenji. Alright? Walking down the hallway to an unused room that's become a second home to 3 students in particular, I mournfully look down at the plastic wrapped salad roll and juice box in my hand. The cafeteria's food is really unappetizing. Maybe I'll consider this my penance for my recent indiscretions. Cafeteria food is always disgusting. Opening the door, I notice one less quiet figure than I'd expected. Hey, Lilly. Maybe Hanako knows that we should be left alone now. It's strange. Despite having known Lilly for months, I can't help thinking back to the very first time I opened this door and saw her silently sitting in the sunlight. Just as she did then, she slowly opens her eyes, unmoving as they are, and calmly addresses me. Good morning, Hisao. It's afternoon, I think. Has Hanako been around? She skidded out of class without me even noticing. Lilly cradles her cheek thoughtfully as I take a seat, my bag taking its place against the closest leg of the table and my unsatisfying meal neatly set out in front of me. Could you lock the door? Could you lock the door, please, Hisao? We're gonna have sex on this table, in this class, in the school grounds, right now. Let's do it. Jesus, I'm dirty. She did appear for a time. She said she had to study for the upcoming exams and left for the library. Oh, that's actually quite good. Good girl, Hanako, good girl. We find ourselves not entirely believing her words. Well, at least her intentions are in the right place. Yeah. She is sweet, but she needn't go this far to let us have our space. I might talk to her about it sometime. Probably for the best. For a while we quietly eat our meals, Lilly elegantly nibbling on her sandwiches and sipping her tea as I eat what tastes like a garden sandwich and dry dough. The atmosphere feels slightly strange, neither of us knowing quite what to say to each other now that our small talk has dried up. Eventually we both finish our food, with no conversation forthcoming for quite some time. Eventually, though, Lily's soft voice breaks the silence, as always. A lot happened back there, didn't it? Again, silence. With both our minds on the same topic, though, I think I have my feelings on that sorted out. I know everything happened in kind of a hurry, but I don't regret anything that happened in Hokkaido. Not one thing. Hisao? Slightly tense, I take her hands in mine, half to feel her, half to settle my own dirty bastard. Half to feel her. Jesus. I stand by my words back there, Lilly. I love you and I won't leave you. I only wish for you to think the same. She silently reflects for a long time, which feels like an eternity. Her reverie comes to an end as she takes one hand from mine, placing it over them as she leans her body forwards and stands out of her chair. After a moment's hesitation, her face slightly pensive, her lips meet mine for a brief moment. My mind feels as if it briefly stopped at that moment, barely registering Lilly sitting back in her chair and smiling back at me with ever so slightly reddened cheeks. Hearing that makes me very happy, Hisao. I would be glad to stay with you. Maybe it would be good to slow things down a bit. Compared to before, we still have school, after all, and our exams. There's something wrong there. A guy never says that. Alright? I'm starting to think there's something wrong with you, Hisao. She gives a mischievous giggle, which proves to be contagious. That might be a good idea indeed. Do you think you'll fare well on your exams? It's only one day until they arrive, as you say. I probably should have studied more, but I think I've got a good enough head to manage. That said, I had to bet off Misha and Shizune. Is your class as worried about the exams as mine? She lets out an exasperated sigh, all but confirming it. I'm thankful for the atmosphere becoming a bit lighter. I think so. I've already been asked for help by 2 of my classmates, and there'll no doubt be more. Think of it as your first training in being a teacher, maybe? That's probably a good way to think of it. On that note, how are you faring in your English studies? I remember it was far from your strongest subject, and the few sentences you memorised to speak to my mother aren't likely to help. Damn, right on the mark. You got me. If you don't mind, would you be able to possibly help in that regard, please? It would be my pleasure to help you, Hisao, but in exchange... She lowers her eyebrows at me, her coquettish nature tentatively coming to the fore. No problem at all, you'd probably be better off with some help in your studies though. She beams a smile at me, one of girlish victory that nearly makes me blush. I get the feeling she's aware of how to use her face to twist my judgment, so I should probably be more on guard. Here and now though, a study group seems like an expedient way for both of us to shore up our more lacking skills. So, the school bell rings out, reminding us that time isn't going to stand still. Huh, lunchtime's over already. It sure is easy to lose track of the time here. This room's so far from the other clubs and activities, not much sound can reach us. That's probably most of the reason why. The other part of the reason is because I'm with you. Aww. A place far from all the others, alone with just one person whom she loves. As Lilly stands and collects her bag and cane, my thoughts are cast back to the time we spent in Hokkaido. Before I go, Akira and I are having a homecoming party in my room tomorrow. Will you be able to come? You're damn right I'll be able to come. And back again. My schedule is free, so I should be able to make enough room in my study time to make it. Good to hear, Hisao. For what it's worth, I'm glad you're back from Scotland. Once exams are over, we should have more time to ourselves. Holidays start soon, after too. We can start the holidays with Tanabata then, just as we promised at the school festival. She brings her hand to her cheek and laughs She laughs slightly nervously, recalling the events as I silently thank myself for managing to remember. It's always good when you can tell a girl something that you remembered from a long time ago she told you. That didn't make any sense, but she'll love you for it. It seems odd to see her react in such a way, though it's not like I never saw her embarrassed before. I'd better be going. Farewell, Hisao. Bye. Whether it's out of habit or just stubborn desire for one small fragment of normality, I hold up my hand in farewell just as I always do. At least I'm consciously aware that I'm doing it now. I think I'm beginning to see a bigger picture than I ever have before, not only with Lilly, but also my life ahead. The chains of my past are finally breaking. Well. Hisao. Those chains really are breaking, aren't they? You are becoming a man. Oh, please tell me. Oh, no. We're in the girls' dormitories, aren't we? Remember the boys' dormitories, there's like a janitor's trolley thing over here somewhere. Maybe it's over here. It just looks like a mess. The girls' dormitories look far neater. Apparently no one has any messages. You know, there's no message. I mean, these are all message boards, but no one has any messages. There's something down here. Maybe pamphlets on something. Free condoms. I don't know. Morning after pill? No, okay. Walking up the now slightly more familiar corridor of the girls' dormitories. Oh, there you go. I can hear the faint sound of laughter coming from up ahead. Bro, they're probably talking about the size of your... Maybe it was a bit too small. Maybe. Lily's been lying this whole time and she didn't really feel much because you're so small, bro. Oh man, that sucks. Ooh. That's a harsh blow to Hisao. I'm sorry. Sorry, Hisao. Yeah, my bro, I shouldn't talk about you like that. It doesn't take long to identify the source as Lily's room, though the deep timbre of the female voice unmistakably belongs not to her but to her sister, Akira. I I rap my knuckles on the door with the usual 3 light taps, my hand barely retreating as the door swings open. Hey Hisao. Hey, hello, Lilly, Hanako. Beautiful scene as always. Hanako looks up tentatively. Oh god, I love Lily's eyes. Her hands buried in her oversized pink nightgown. From her side, Lily turns sideways towards the direction of my voice and smiles. It would be a flagrant lie to say I dislike the sight of her in those pajamas. I catch Akira giving me a sidelong look with a knowing grin, to which I reply with a sharp glare. She takes the hint, shrugs and walks back to the low table in the centre of the room. As I go to join her, Lily gives me a nod of greeting and starts pouring me a cup of tea. It's nice to see you again, Hanako. You've been getting around recently. It's not usually something you say to a girl, but okay. Pretty straightforward there, Hisao. It's like saying Hanako's the town bike. Everyone gets a ride. Lily wears a look of concentration as the light brown liquid, carefully measured by her finger as always, flows from the teapot into the cup. It seems Hanako has taken up helping one of the people in your class with the newspaper club. Naomi, I think? Hanako gives an affirmative nod. Even after spending about 2 months in the class, I still have trouble remembering the names of those students I rarely talk with. It takes me a few mental contortions to connect the name with the face, but I eventually remember the girl that sits beside Hanako at the back of the class. Naomi Inu. A fairly average looking girl, except for her bleached blonde hair. That's nice of you, Hisao. Fairly average. Given her upbeat and straightforward personality, Naomi may have seen an opening to poach Hanako for her club when she inquired about joining one. Either way, it's nice to see Hanako broadening her horizons. It is indeed. When I first met her, the idea of joining a club with anyone but Lily would have seemed utterly laughable. That'd explain how busy you've been. Enjoying it? It's really interesting. As always, Hanako's far from being talkative. Some things never change, and it seems that Hanako's personality is one of them. She'll likely always be too shy. She'll likely always be one to shy away from being overly social. I don't know, at the end of her part, she was pretty onto it. Warned by the sound of crockery against the table as Lily gently places my drink in front of me, I thank her and take a long sip. Hanako and Lily are attending to their own, and Akira is quaffing a mug of strong-smelling black coffee. You're a lucky bastard, Hisao. Thanks, Akira. Huh? I can't help grimacing at her teasing smile, still visible around the edges of the mug pressed to her lips. Seeing my sister in her pyjamas, there's a lot of men out there who'd like to be where you are. I've seen a lot more than that of her, not that I'd admit it. You make sure you keep those words in your mind. Akira! Hey, I'm just teasing. I love Akira. Akira is so cool. She leans over to me as much as she can, whispering with a sly grin written on her face. And Hanako too, you perv. Hey, it was her idea. Jesus, Akira looks terrifying here, like what the fuck? We both look over to her, her face turned to the ground and her hands fidgeting in the lap of her nightgown. If it's Hisao, I don't mind. This could be bad. I know Hanako's altogether too innocent to bother reading too much into such a thing, but the expression Akira directs at me is positively stormy. Akira, please. It seems Lily can sense Akira's sudden change in aura just as well as I, even without seeing it for herself. Akira slowly looks away from me, like an attacked dog leashed by its owner in the nick of time. I breathe a sigh of relief. I can't think of a more appropriate time to try and change topics than around now. If you don't mind me asking, Akira, what do you do for a living? I've never seen you out of that suit. I actually sleep in it. Thinking about what to do with yourself after school's over, eh? I'm a lawyer. To be honest, I thought so. I mean, what other situation are you going to put someone in a business suit like that? It's a pretty awesome, looks to be pinstripe, I'd say. Pinstripe suit. I had one of them for my ball, or prom, as you call it in America. I was a bit of a boss. For the most part, I work in the legal department of the Japanese branch of our family's company. The most boring possible answer, I suppose. Law's a pretty dry topic to most people. Kinda. Oi, you're not supposed to agree. Lilly gives an amused giggle while holding her teacup and saucer, Hanako quickly joining her. This friendly atmosphere between everyone is something I'd missed while Lilly and Akira were on their trip. While the dealings I had with Hanako didn't help, I think just not having Lilly around changed the mood. It's nice to be back. I missed you, Hisao, and you too, Hanako. Same goes for the both of us. I'm guessing your classmates were happy to see you back? In a manner of speaking, yes. Akira's amused snort shows she's well aware of Lilly's attitude towards such figures of speech. I imagine she'd have to be... Excuse me. I imagine she'd have to be, given how long they've been together. Did you have fun in Scotland? For a moment I wonder why she's asking, it having been quite a while since they came back, but then I remember everything that happened. We've simply not had the time to look back, with the exams and our Hokkaido trip. Yeah, I think most of it's attributed to the Hokkaido trip. A few things happened. Lilly's face goes distant for a moment, and the fact that Akira's first reaction is to look over to her sister doesn't escape me. Nonetheless, she quickly collects herself. It was nice. We hadn't met our family in such a long time, so it was a nice, wonderful reunion. Yeah, I guess that's right. Their house being beachside was the best part though. From her dismissive tone, I get the feeling Akira doesn't like their family as much as Lilly does. You only like that because you finally had time to play around. Just because I'm the better swimmer. I don't take after the athletic side of the family, that's all. Well, you can take heart in the fact that you got the height genes at least. And the bus genes. Oh, Akira is my best friend. It's not really the right kind of thing to say around others, although it's true. Though Lilly pretends to scold Akira, she does so with an unmistakable, slightly cheeky grin on her face. I doubt Akira really minds that, judging from her nonchalant expression. While I don't either, Hanako's looking down and blushing furiously beside me. Oh, you've got a wonderful bus too, Hanako, if you were feeling left out of the conversation. The sisters' antics aside, their parents really do lead a arduous lifestyle. It seems utterly divorced from the life that Lilly and Akira have lived until now. I suppose practically must have made the decision for them. Oh, practicality, sorry. To have come from such a wealthy and well-connected lineage only adds to the almost noble air Lilly seems to have, though. It's a small wonder none of it seems to have rubbed off onto Akira. They really are as little alike as siblings could be. Their only similarity seems to be their shared confidence, which can be both endearing and a headache at times. And their blonde hair. It's definitely true how they say that Akira is from the father's side and Lilly is from her mother's side. Yeah. Well, I never realised how long Lily's hair was. I mean, wow. Most of the night continues much the same, with Hanako eventually leaving the Tao sisters and I to ourselves as she heads back to her dorm room for a rest. Oh, we're finally about to have that threesome I asked for. Maybe not. I need to get my damn mind out of the gutter. It's disgusting. For a while, only the barely audible sound from Lily's teacup and saucer can occasionally be heard as she slowly drinks. The silence is strained as Lilly and I wait for the elephant in the room to be addressed. Who the fuck brought an elephant into the room? So... Lilly dutifully puts her cup down, giving her sister her undivided attention. With Lilly and I on one side of the low table and Akira at the other, this almost feels like a judge passing down a verdict. I find you both guilty for sin. I hear that you two are going out now. I glance sideways at Lilly to confirm her as the source of Akira's knowledge. She gives a gentle nod to Akira, which I mirror in affirmation. Deciding that this is the proper time and place to do so, and Akira being the closest figure to a parent Lily's had for much of her life, I bow deeply with my hands on the floor before me and my head very nearly the same. I'll take good care of your sister, Akira, I promise you. See, he's a lovely young gentleman. She must have heard my voice coming from a lower position than usual. I slowly bring myself back up, my eyes tentatively looking to Akira from under my brow. To tell the truth, I very much doubt my suited judge will raise any objections. She's very definitely the type to make her disapproval with others well known, something that lends her a measure of respect in my eyes. The old-fashioned kind, huh? Well, he's the kind of person I guess you'd go for. I don't have a problem with it, and I wish you two the best. Even if I didn't like it, I couldn't really do anything anyway. I offer a nod of appreciation to her as Lilly gives a small sigh of relief, likely more out of duty than actual belief Akira might have had any problems with us being together. I do wonder though, how's the rest of the family taking it, particularly the part residing at Yamaku? Have you told her? Smiles turn to grimaces as Akira grins downright evilly. Those closest know how to twist the knife best, after all. Putting up with it may be the best term for the situation. Don't you agree, Hisao? Yeah, that sounds about right. At least she's being reasonable about it. Good to hear. That girl can be a handful at the best of times. We sent a few messages back and forth during and just after the trip, and she was already busting my chops for seeing my boyfriend. When we came back after leaving Hideaki for so long, she really does care for the little guy. I cast my mind back to Shizune's odd reaction after telling her about our relationship, but decide not to bring it up. It's no doubt simply born of their mutual antipathy, and Akira's comments only back that up. Well then, that's settled. Gotta get to work early tomorrow, so I'd better be off. She rises from the table with a grunt, her hand on her knee to push herself up. I just notice Akira's eyes lingering on Lilly for a couple of seconds before turning away as she begins to take her leave. After she walks out the door, she stops and looks up thoughtfully before turning to us one last time. Oh yeah, I almost forgot to tell you. Use protection. Every time. I gag violently on the tea in my mouth. Contrary to my own, Lily's composure holds perfectly as she seems entirely unfazed. I'm kind of impressed. We are, don't worry. Atta girl. See us. Oh, I love Akira. God, she's awesome. Oh. Alright, with that, I'm going to end it there. I hope you guys enjoyed these couple of parts. I shall see you guys next part.